Last night, the A's returned home and showed why they are a tough squad to beat on their home turf. A combination of some clutch hitting, solid defense, and a deep bullpen locked down a Game-1 victory versus the Halos. Their 44-26 record at the Coliseum is the third best home record in the American League. And tonight, they look to continue their success in the East Bay as Tanner Roark takes the hill. Roark has been an excellent addition to the starting staff and has thrived, especially at home, in the green and gold. Roark and the A's take on the Angels in Game 2, and it starts right now. Well, Wednesday Night Baseball coming up from the Coliseum, and tonight we are going to get our first look at Sean Murphy, the catcher. We're looking forward to that as the A's trying to make it 2 in a row over the Angels. It's the A's and the Angels coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. We indeed have a Major League debut tonight. We get a first look at catcher Sean Murphy. Ray, he is no doubt the A's catcher of the future. Unfortunately, this year held up by injuries a little bit, but he's a big, strong kid, and we're looking forward to seeing him tonight.
I think everybody's looking forward to seeing Sean Murphy. They've been talking about him forever. We've seen him in spring training and doing a very good job during spring training, getting his feet wet. The injuries have really curtailed his approach to the big leagues, but he could have been up a little bit earlier when Fegley went down. He gets a chance tonight. He's taking batting practice. You know, there's a lot of confidence in this young man. I think just watching him in spring training, watching him tonight, getting ready for his Major League debut. And by the way, this is an important time of the year for the Athletics. They're trying to do something special, go to postseason, and here they have a rookie making his Major League debut tonight against the Angels, catching a pitcher he's never caught before.
Yeah, and that pitcher would be Tanner Roark, who likes to pitch here at the Coliseum. A lot of success so far. For more on that, let's go downstairs to Dallas Braden.
Well, guys, a lot of success since joining the green and gold. Tanner Roark has made 5 starts. Each one of them have been great, but at home, he has become a defender of the town and has done it against some heavyweight competition. Early on, he put the silencer on the St. Louis Cardinals offense, and he did not stop there. He had the Houston Astros and also the New York Yankees. And so what Tanner Roark has done is he has established the fact that he can defend the Oakland Coliseum. He can get deep into the ball game when necessary. So for Tanner Roark, a little more of each one of those would be a lovely sign.
All right, so let's not forget the A's are tied with the Cleveland Indians for that second wild card spot entering tonight's action. So we'll do a little scoreboard watching. Pennant Race Baseball coming up from the Coliseum. Tanner Roark and the Athletics taking on the Angels. Lineups and first pitch right after this. The A's and the Indians tied for that second wild card spot. We'll keep an eye on the Indians score as they are hosting the White Sox. Here's the Angels starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Fletcher, Trout, Goodwin, Pujols, Ohtani, Upton, Simmons, Thais, and Bemboom.
Tanner Roark is on the mound for the Athletics tonight following Mike Fiers last night. Good rotation for the Athletics, and Tanner Roark is making the start. 27th overall, of course, the Reds and the Athletics, but he's pitched well for the A's. His last start, maybe not what he wanted to do. That was in Kansas City, but still a very good pitcher, and hopes to continue tonight with his excellence.
Defensively, the A's will have Profar in left, Canna in center, Pinder in right, Chapman, Simeon, Noisy, and Olsen on the infield, and Sean Murphy, big league debut. How about that? Pennant race, Murphy. Let's go.
Let's
big
go.
League debut.
That's right. Catching a guy who's never caught before.
Oh, he is not. Onora, Brian Onora is the crew chief, and he's calling balls and strikes. Hoy, Tassi, and Ripperger. One hop, backhanded by Chapman. His throw, dug out by Olsen, one away.
Well, get it started early. We know Tanner Roark has the ability to keep guys on the ground when he needs to, predominantly a fly ball pitcher. But when you've got a guy like Matt Chapman over there at the hot corner, you're going to force contact early. Nice little backhand stab for Chappie, an even better job for Matt Olsen on the backside. That's not an easy pick, folks.
No.
That's not as close to him as you'd like, Foss, and that's just far enough out there where you've got to make a decision to go and get it like he did.
And I'm surprised, really, that Matt Chapman threw it as quickly as he did instead of taking his time and utilizing his very strong arm and making the strong throw. He almost threw it like he thought Fletcher was going to be a speed burner down the line. He's going to have to hurry his throw.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. And here's Mike Trout.
Mentioned that Murphy has not caught Tanner Roark. The same with Dustin Garneau, who caught Roark in his first start. Actually, the first start for Roark, first appearance for Dustin Garneau back with the ball club. Well, if you want to hear something that sounds like a home run, this is it. Mike Fiers. That ball was a rocket. I asked Seth Brown, I said, did you even look at it? And he said, well, I wanted to turn around and look and just see how far it went, maybe, because it did bounce up almost into the treehouse, which is a long shot. But like we said at the Open camp, it was a solo. One of 3 solos by the Angels last night.
2-2 to Mike Trout. 44 homers, 102 RBIs for Trout. Pop-up foul. Most balls hit 400 feet this season. Mike Trout 31. 2 behind Nolan Arenado. Bellinger, Alonso, Soler. It's a good group of sluggers right there. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Off speed pitch. Trout missed it.
What a good slider from Tanner Roark, and nice job of catching the ball by the catcher, Sean Murphy, and did a good job. Moved the ball inside and outside. Probably the best pitch that Fiers made last night was the fastball inside that pushed Trout off the plate a little bit, as he has a tendency to look out over the plate, and if you make a mistake, as Fiers did in the first inning last night. But after that, it was pretty much a Mike Fiers game.
First pitch to Brian Goodwin is a strike. Pitchcast brought to you by Subway. So Brian Goodwin's in right field tonight. Cole Calhoun getting the night off.
We were talking about Sean Murphy making his major league debut, and you're right, Kipe, in a pennant race, and usually you come up in September, you get your feet wet, but he got his, I mean, he's drowning. Jumped in right in the middle of it.
Marcus Semien cannot quite come up with it, and Goodwin's got a base hit.
But I think the most important thing is for Sean Murphy to catch. And if he catches, he can do a very good job, and the offense will come. He's a very good offensive player, but this is the major leagues.
Just a changeup from Roark, stays up. You see Goodwin caught it off the cup, and Semien might have had a shot at this. He's trying to make a difficult play where he's got to kind of stab at that ball that's going to make its way past him. Didn't really have much opportunity to do much else. Kind of an awkward flight for the ball out to Semien.
So a 2-out single. Here's Albert Pujols. Pujols hit one of those solo home runs last night. His came in the 4th inning, leading off the 4th inning, and it was career home run number 654. 21 homers and 84 RBIs for Albert Pujols, so pretty good season.
I think a lot of that being a smart hitter, and of course last night getting a pitch up in his own fastball, and Fiers knew it, Pujols knew it, everybody knew it, but again a solo. And Mike Gallego coaching third base for the Angels, of course a former athletic infielder and third base coach, and he said, man, it'd been nice to have somebody on in front of those home runs.
That one down the left field line could be trouble, and it's fair. Bounces off the wall. Profar's got to get to it quickly. He does. Goodwin's going to stop at third, and Pujols has a double second and third.
Well, and you can understand the importance of keeping a guy like Fletcher off of first base to start the inning, because that trickle-down effect kind of punches you in the face quick, fast, and in a hurry. You got to deal with Trout, some guys behind him. The machine steps up here. And again, pitch up in the zone. Albert Pujols, one of the best doing it. You see Goodwin coming around Profar, gets a ball in quick enough to keep him at third base.
And that is an important job by Profar. The ball was hit very hard. Unfortunately, it did not come off the wall as hard as maybe expected. Number 7 on the list. Pretty good list.
658 career doubles. 1-0 the count to Ohtani. Now 1-1. Shohei Ohtani, 289 with 16 home runs, 55 runs batted in. Had an RBI double last night, was 1 for 4. Dropped it. Double down the left field line. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
Are you as surprised as I am that he's missing those fastballs?
Yeah. Must have a little late movement on it, but yeah, it almost looks like he's pulling off a little bit, but that's sort of his swing.
Pull it off and hit the ball to left center.
Fights that one off on a high fastball. Ohtani was the American League Rookie of the Year last year.
Could have been the pitcher and the hitter of the year.
Hit 285 last year with 22 homers, 61 RBIs. He played in 104 games, and let's not forget he made 10 starts. The A's saw him early last year, and he was nasty.
Yeah, they saw him here as a starter and saw him in Anaheim and almost had a perfecto in Anaheim. And his first major league hit here.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Murphy blocks it. He's going to have to hurry. Ohtani, and Ohtani was not really running hard.
It's a cross up. Cross it, a big time cross up. He got it in the chest, and Murphy.
So Murphy throws out Ohtani, and the Angels strand a pair. On the Athletics, let's check out their starting lineup. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Simeon, Chapman, Olsen, Canna, Davis, Pinder, Profar, Murphy, Noisy.
Patrick Sandoval on the mound for the Angels, and according to Ryan Christensen and watching the videotape, he said this kid's pretty good. He is just up and making his 5th start, 6th appearance for the Angels. Left-hander, that's why Sean Murphy is making his debut tonight. Also Sheldon Noisy in the game, but kid's got a good fastball, mid to upper 90s with the fastball. Likes to throw the change up, especially the righties, which you'll be facing a few tonight.
Sandoval's first pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Facing Marcus Simeon, 272 for Marcus. 25 home runs and 73 RBIs. Hitting a walk last night for Marcus.
Marcus, talking about table setters and the way he is able to figure out a pitcher, and again, seeing a guy for the first time, maybe first time through the batting order. Got to learn something about him.
You can see early on he's got some good angle, some good downhill angle on the heater. And a man after my own heart, Voss, throwing that wiggler. Love me the changeup.
That's right. Throw it as hard as he does, mid-90s, and then pulls the string. That's impressive.
So 2-2 the count. Patrick Sandoval. He's a youngster. He's only 22 years old. Tapped toward third. It's Theis who shows off a pretty good arm and throws him out. So 1 away. Let's look at the Angels defense. Upton, Trout, and Goodwin in the outfield. Theis, Simmons, Fletcher, and Pujols on the infield. Anthony Bemboom is your catcher.
The catcher for 18 years. That's not Raymond behind him. That's Brad Ausmus, the manager.
First year taking over for Mike Scioscia. The numbers for Matt Chapman. Home run last night. Matt Chapman on the league leaderboard. He's 4th in extra base hits. He's 8th in doubles, and he's tied for 10th in home runs with his 31. Dropped one right into the Holy Toledo sign last night.
Good at bat, especially with the runner at third base. He stayed closed and got the slider, a little wrinkle from Maria, and did not miss it. Think back to the Bay Bridge series, but he was not on the roster. We got a chance to play some games in the Bay Bridge series, which, not being a non-roster player, he was allowed to do that, and had to help him tremendously to get acclimated to these big stadiums here and in San Francisco.
3-1 pitch is high, so Chapman has a walk. In athletics history, most home runs in first 3 seasons. McGuire, Johnson, Jackson, Chapman, and Canseco.
It's a nice list.
Well, Big Mac got an early start, right? He hit a bunch his rookie year.
49 to be exact.
Yep, that's right.
And walked away from a possible number 50 for the birth of his son Matthew. The Sunday in Chicago.
1-0 to Matt Olson. There's a strike. Matt Olson, 28 homers, 69 RBIs. Had a double and a run scored last night, 1 for 4. The A's had 7 runs on 6 hits last night. It was the extra base hits that helped the A's last night. They had the big home run, but they also had the 2 triples by Seth Brown, and both triples knocked in runs. Also had a double, so 4 of the 6 hits were extra base hits last night.
One of the impressive things about Brown, and of course Grossman next to him, Fegley in between, but Brown with a good night last night, a good start to his career, yet out taking early batting practice today.
Pujols out at second, quick throw to first, but not in time. Simmons took the throw from Albert Pujols.
These are the 2 triples we're talking about. Seth Brown coming in Cadillac in both times. Talked about the errant read from Cole Calhoun as well. Just didn't give himself enough room to play that carom. And Brownie in emphatically the first time. Second time around, caught himself just a little bit out in front. Didn't hit it with the same authority the first time around. That's what allowed that ball to stay fair. The athleticism still there nonetheless. And Brownie, the first player in Oakland Coliseum history to make his debut at the Coliseum with 2 stand-up triples.
Here's Canna. Good breaking ball from Patrick Sandoval.
But Chris Herman, the first player, hit a grand slam in his first game, second at bat. So a lot of firsts this year for the Athletics.
Well, it's got to feel good for those guys to be able to come up and make an impact pretty early.
Won the count to Canna. Canna was 1 for 3 last night with a single, a walk, and a run scored. Canna chase there.
Just think how quiet this place would be without those drums. I mean,
Creating game rhythm, right?
they're probably not disappointed with a 3-hour-plus game.
Well, yeah, they're not getting yelled at by mom to knock it off.
Our neighbors in their place of living.
Yeah.
So 2-2 the count.
Young man getting a chance on a changeup away, moves nicely to his right. It's a nice job. That's a nice 90 feet to not give up. me see what I want to throw him. Let's see what they say. Likes to throw a change up. Let's go to the breaking ball.
It's hit in the hole. Simmons quick to second, and nicely done. And that will do it for the Athletics. No score after one from the Coliseum. Give back. Prize Patrol night.
Somebody's going to get lucky.
Yeah, somebody's going to be a very happy person.
I look forward to the look on their faces when they see that big check. Just the size of the check. I'm not worried about the numbers. I just like the big check.
They like the numbers, though.
2-1 the count to Upton. Simmons will follow, and then Theis. Hit hard, but foul.
Well, there's no doubt what a healthy Upton can mean to this Anaheim Angels team and lineup. Just becomes a little bit longer, but that kind of pop from this guy. Tough to think that a lot of his season was lost to a toe injury. And I think he's part of that equation, as I kind of talked about, trying to get that first guy in the lineup, David Fletcher, off the base path. And if you don't, what comes behind him? And a healthy Upton is somebody who factors right into the middle of that equation. Can make it very tough for a pitcher to have to start to pick and choose how you want to navigate those Trout waters, those Ohtani waters, Pujols, Upton.
And Upton playing in just his 58th game this year. And that one is drilled center, but Canna's there, and he makes the catch. Hard hit ball, but right into the glove of Mark Canna for the first out here in the second inning.
They're talking about Gallego, and very confident. Dallas just mentioned the players in this lineup, and Mike Gallego said this is a good hitting lineup, 1 through 9. If you think about the offense that could be for this club, and he knows, being the third base coach and being with them, and it all comes down to the man on the mound, starting pitching.
Well, you think about the year that Simmons is coming off of. You factor him in there as well. I mean, I mentioned the Trout, the Pujols, the Ohtani, Upton chain, but Andrelton Simmons, another link in that chain that can make it very, very sturdy. And again, a very tough night for any starting pitcher to work around.
Simmons lines one, just fouled down the right field line. So 0-2 the count to the Angels shortstop. Broken bat, slowly hit. Chapman's got it. Chapman throws in time, 2 outs.
Hanging breaking ball and almost doubled, and jammed him on a good fastball inside. And Simmons always aggressive, and that's a good location. And man, you talk about breaking the bat, and then he goes down to one knee, which makes it even slower for him to get out of the batter's box. But that's kind of the way he hits. And you break a bat like that, you're not going to go very far.
So here's Matt Theis. Our first look at Theis. He was first round draft pick of the Angels back in 2016. 14 home runs in AAA this year. Matt Theis. Rolls that one foul, so Tanner Roark jumps ahead in the count, 1-2. Angels come into the ball game with a record of 65-74. They are scuffling. They've lost 9 out of their last 11. On the road, they're 30-40, and they've lost 14 out of their last 17 road games. So they are limping home.
First two guys they showed Pujols and Trout. All they want to do is win. And unfortunately, it's going to be another season in which they go home at the end of the season and not participate in October baseball.
Well, they have finished the last 2 years with the exact same record, 80-82. They'll have to work to get there this year.
You know, I think is difficult is to come into a season with a lot of great expectations, and then you come down in the final month of the season knowing that it's just not going to be there, and you're still going to play for pride and want to play and do well. But it's got to be difficult to have the expectations, but they're not able to fulfill them.
So a 2-out walk to Theis.
Look at the first inning for Roark. He got 2 outs, ground ball, a strikeout, then all of a sudden single, double, and a strikeout.
So here's Anthony Bemboom. And he goes after the first pitch and loops one foul. Bemboom was up earlier this year, just brought back up for yesterday's game. Way inside. Last night we saw Max Stassi doing the catching for the Angels.
Well, I think it's fair to say that if you're the Angels and you're in the position the team is, you have the opportunity to get some looks for some other guys that might not be regulars.
Profar hustling in. Profar makes the diving catch to end the inning. Nice play in left field by Jurickson. Profar. Runner stranded. Bottom of the second. Coming up for the A's, it'll be Davis, Pinder, Profar. Hey, A's fans, with you get the ultimate control of your in-home Wi-Fi. Pause the Wi-Fi on any connected devices. See who's on your network and more. This is Beyond Wi-Fi. This is X5. It is Japanese Heritage Night at the ballpark. Bottom of the second, no score between the A's and the Angels. Davis, Pinder, and Profar.
I got to say, guys, the local artists continue to knock it out of the park with their designs. The Oakland organization does such a wonderful job of embracing our diverse community. And with every night that we're able to celebrate different cultures, that's one thing I notice is the way that the artists really embrace and just put on blast their skills and the love I think we all share for each other in this community. Pretty cool.
Very well said.
One 1-0 to Chris Davis.
Does Davis have his hands a little higher tonight? Let's see. Like they were down lower, but for some reason, just watching him now, they seem to be up a little bit higher.
Knocked in a couple of runs. Yeah, maybe.
Well, not only are they a little higher, Foss, they're a little farther away from the body line as well. And that's something we've seen KD keep those hands resting, but very rhythmic towards the body line. Just a little higher, but still moving, creating rhythm.
Well, it is a game of adjustments, and he's hit 40+ home runs for 3 consecutive years, and right now sitting on 19. So with Darren Bush, Mike Aldrete, maybe seeing some things and making some adjustments, and it's all about adjusting and not only maybe recommendations, but a player accepting the adjustments and trying something new. Except getting a 3-1 curveball doesn't factor in there, especially when you look at fastball.
Thice charges, Thice throws in time. Well, the A's family grew today. How about that? Landry Jane Bassett was born this afternoon. 8 pounds, 9 ounces, 18.5 inches long. So congratulations to Chris Bassett and his wife Jessica. Landry Jane Bassett, the newest member of the Athletics family.
Some more dad strength on the way.
Yeah, dad strength. We're believers. Chris Bassett is going to pitch on Saturday. I believe he was pushed back a little bit.
It's a good idea.
What happened today? Pinder launches with a foul. Brett Anderson is going to pitch tomorrow. And Homer Bailey will pitch on Friday and Bassett on Saturday.
And that's what an off day does. Allows you to make some adjustments if necessary. That was the off day of Monday, which was the last, what did you say last night, 16 days, 16 consecutive?
Yeah, I believe that's it. Next off day will be the 19th of September. Starting last night, 16 consecutive days. Pinder, a high breaking ball. Trying to read the front of that gentleman's jersey. Baseball legends. The Indians are leading the White Sox 8-6 in the 9th inning in Cleveland. They're trying to close that game out. We'll let you know when it goes final.
They got some help from the White Sox defense, a bad defense, some plays.
Hard slider, just a little bit inside.
But as the A's found out last night, you take advantage of mistakes, and Simmons made a couple of errors on the same play and allowed Matt Chapman to do what he does best, and that's hit a home run.
Changeup at 84 miles an hour, and that's a pretty good pitch.
Well, take a look at this spin as well. What Sandoval does is he turns this pitch over, especially with 2 strikes. You have the option to garner different types of movement. So you turn it over a little more, you get more north to south movement or more vertical drop. Maybe you stay on the inside of that ball a little more, you get the east to west movement, you get those righties to fish and chase outside of the zone. So Sandoval got a great feel for a couple different release points on that changeup.
So the changeup 32% of the time, and that is a very high number. Right center and hit pretty well. Trout on the move. Trout looking up, and that baby's gone. Profar, 19th home run of the year. So Profar goes to right center. And he's been swinging a hot bat. That's why he's in there playing left field.
Exactly.
So the A's grab the 1-0 lead, and here's the first big league at bat for Sean Murphy. Well, we and all A's fans have heard a lot, heard his name a lot last couple years. And here he is. And here's the Murphy clan. They're psyched. "41 games in the minor leagues this year due to the injuries, but healthy. And in the lineup tonight as a big leaguer. He's a big kid, 6'3", 230 pounds. He's 24 years old. He'll be 25 first week of October.
I asked him about the number 12, and he said, nope, they gave it to me in spring training. That's it. Nothing special. Not going to ask for anything. They're waiting for the first hit. But bottom line, it's all about catching.
And a good changeup, and he swings and misses. A's get a run on the Profar home run. Jurickson, Profar's 19th home run of the year. So after 2 from the Coliseum, the Profar home run gives the A's a 1-0 lead.
The MLB, your next visit to the Coliseum. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem special check-in offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today.
So top of the 3rd and the top of the order for the Angels. Fletcher shows bunt, takes a strike. Fletcher grounded out in the 1st inning. Right at the league average for shutdown innings for Tanner Roark, 70%. This is the 6th start for Tanner Roark with the Athletics. 2-1, couple of no decisions. He beat the Cardinals. He beat the Yankees. Lost to the Cubs and had the no decision against Houston, and then his last start at Kansas City.
I think what's important for Tanner Roark, or at least important to note about his effort since joining the Green and Gold, 4 out of 5 outings, at least 6 innings or more. And while that might not sound like a large amount in this day and age, that matters, especially when you consider some of the struggles that the bullpen has encountered, a group that, for the most part, has been leaned on for the Oakland Athletics. But as they have stumbled, there have been guys in this starting rotation, and Tanner Roark, one of them, that have continued to step up and give them opportunities, the ball club that is, to win games.
So combined numbers for Tanner Roark, 8-8 with a 4.04 ERA. But you think about last year, the A's won 97 games, but it seemed like the starting rotation was always in flux.
Sure. They had a great bullpen.
Yeah.
They,
and you know, the opener was used a fair amount, but the last couple months, Bob Melvin's had the luxury of being locked into 5 guys. You know, Fiers, Bailey, Roark, Anderson, and Bassett. Pinder comes in. Pinder's got it. Trout is retired. So you got 5 guys that you know you can run out there. And now you have Sean Manaea, so you really have 6.
yeah. And they could go to 6-man and give extra time, especially in the month of September. But I think David Forst, general manager, said it best. And the acquisition of that man, Homer Bailey, and Tanner Roark, who's pitching tonight, Jake Diekman. Of course, Sean Manaea coming back. But the 2 acquisitions, the starters and the reliever and Diekman, David Forst said we needed somebody to make starts, and they got the starts.
Yep.
And I think at the beginning of the season, as we talked about, that maybe they were relying on some of the guys coming back.
And Murphy can't find it. And Fletcher takes off immediately. So the Angels will get a runner in scoring position.
Well, just kind of caught in between whether or not he wanted to go to the backhand or kick out and get around it. You can see him kind of flash that backhand and then last second decide he needed to kick out and get around it. It might have cost him just a second.
Strike. Goodwin didn't like it.
Well, you look at the way Murphy is catching the ball, watching him go down and come up. We saw it last night. I mean, that, if it's a strike, it's right at the corner going down. Of course, the way he caught it and brought it up, we've seen a lot of that from catchers, and Murphy is doing it tonight.
That one runs outside. 2-1 the count.
Well, and Foss, you might be able to speak to this a lot better than I could, but just watching him kind of flash that backhand and then go back around it, that's how good Sean Murphy is. He knows he could probably corral that, but this is day 1 in the show. You probably want to get around that, but he follows that up with a great dressing up of that heater down in the zone. And I told you, I saw this kid in spring training, and wanted to get up and throw a bullpen myself to him. That's how good he looked.
And that's a strike, and the count is 2-2.
Well, it is an age of doing exactly. I mean, Sean Murphy, watching him tonight for the first time. I mean, this is not anything he has to do except just catch it. But the way guys are able to dial, we've seen it around the league. And you take a ball that really is down and bring it up. That's just a natural reaction to what they're doing.
So full count with Fletcher at second and Pujols in the on-deck circle. And that catches the inside corner, strike 3 call.
Well, Goodwin had to be looking for something outside part of the plate instead to go inside. And Roark, we have seen with the movement starting on the inside, bringing it back to the inside corner. And look at Brian O'Neill, the home plate umpire, kind of peeking over the right shoulder of Sean Murphy and gets the call in the inside corner.
So here's Pujols with 2 outs. Pujols doubled in the first. And that one had a little cutting action to it.
The veteran Albert Pujols has been well documented, and we've talked about it. He'll cut that swing down, runners in scoring position, especially here, 2 outs.
Yeah, he's sort of the king of that, isn't he? We've seen him flip balls to right field with the guy at second base.
At least Noisey's not playing as far over as you normally see second baseman, opening up the whole right side, and not a bad idea. So where Noisey's playing, we've seen where 3 to be to the left side with a runner in scoring position. He'd just take the shot that way.
Pujols a .308 batting average with runners in scoring position. Roark does not give in. He just keeps working the ball away from Pujols.
Well, that's exactly what you want to do there, and that's why you got that first pitch little cutter from Roark, knowing that the machine, future Hall of Famer, he's going to take what's given to him. He might be hunting that heater early on. Do not want to give him an opportunity to capitalize early in the at-bat.
It's not often that you pitch carefully to a right-handed hitter with a left-handed hitter in the on-deck circle, but I think Tanner Roark is doing that. This guy's been around, and he is going to the Hall of Fame. And while Shohei Ohtani was the Rookie of the Year last year, second year he did strike out with runners at second and third in his first at-bat. But Albert Pujols knows how to hit it. See, this is right here where I think there should be an add-subtract, because Tanner Roark is the veteran, Sean Murphy's the rookie, and they're trying to get on the same page with the runner at second base, and it's created a visit and a conversation. They don't like to add and subtract, and I'm sure they're listening to me and say, shut up. But, you know, it's a way to basically let the pitcher do what he's going to do ultimately anyway, and they're having a discussion about it.
So 2-1 the count to Pujols. Pujols takes it, and now it's 3-1. Ohtani would be next. A lot of pitches for Tanner Roark. He's at 54 with 2 outs in the third. And that one catches the outside corner.
Well, good heater away. And again, I think it's a matter of you can, well, actually, you see that front foot of Albert Pujols kind of slightly open there in a 3-1 count, trying not to get beat in. And again, you're going to make this guy beat you to the big part of the diamond here, and that's right center at the Coliseum.
Pujols popped it up, and that'll be back into the seats.
And Foss, I agree with you in terms of pitchers and catchers needing to be on the same page, subtracting and what that can eliminate. The one thing I do like about that mound visit, though, was maybe there's a conversation about, hey, we're not going to let this guy beat us here. Yeah. There's a guy behind him on deck that I feel like we might be able to navigate around, so let's be smart. It's important for Sean Murphy to take that message back with him behind the plate.
Popped up. Murphy coming over, and Murphy just out of room. So the count remains 3-2 to Pujols.
You know, if it wasn't for that netting there, Sean Murphy might have had a play. That ball hit the top of the netting and came down, and he was already at the backstop waiting. He wants outs, folks.
Well, and that netting, and we're going to see it down the lines, it's going to prevent a lot of catches to be made, probably going in like that.
Pujols, big bouncer, and it's just foul. Good battle. 8 pitches so far, 9th coming up.
This is something that we've seen from Rourke over the season. 3 ball plate appearances, 22% for him. League average 20%, so just a tick above.
Hit hard, but that one's foul. Decision time for Manning.
Manning's milking it, isn't he? He's trying to figure out, who am I going to give this to?
So another 3-2. And just a touch low, not by much.
The final rapid deal day of the season tomorrow for the A's 12:37 game against the Los Angeles Angels. With the rapid deal day, you can score $15 field level tickets presented by Bartable. To purchase your field level ticket, visit athletics.com/rapid. That's athletics.com/rapid.
So 2 on, 2 out for Ohtani. Ohtani struck out in the first inning. He came up with runners at second and third and 2 outs. So he gets another opportunity. Swing and a miss. Swung over top that changeup.
Well, that'll give you a lot of information there. Shohei Ohtani probably hunting that fastball, looking to get off on something early, doesn't want to get deep into this count here. Rourke was able to beat him to a spot a couple times with a fastball going backwards.
And that one almost hit him. He just got that precious right elbow out of the way.
Well, Mike Fiers did it last night to Mike Trout, and Ohtani gets one up and in, and the elbow just came straight up to make sure. And the amazing thing, he throws right-handed, bats left-handed. That elbow is always exposed.
Changeup, missed that one.
Throw it again.
Well, that's it. He can go a couple different ways here. He has got Ohtani in a pretzel right now. Heater up and in. That's going to set up that change down and away. He can run that 2-seamer off the front hip to lock him up and turn him into a window shopper, maybe even pull the string a little more.
Tried it again. Murphy blocks it.
Well, for Sean Murphy, not only trying to figure out what to call, have him throw, but also to realize that he's got to do the job behind the plate like that, blocking the ball. Did a good job this time moving, and did not have the indecision of which way to turn this catcher's mitt.
An emergency swing and a big curveball, and they're going to call catcher's interference.
I was wondering about that because it was either catcher's interference or he took the ball out of the catcher's mitt, but that would be a...
Well, we know a guy by the name of Josh Reddick, who's been known to catch a glove or two in his day, and this is just that emergency hack. Ohtani doing his very best to try to cover a pitch that he's fooled on, but he knows is in the zone. And he starts that swing way back in that bat path, and unfortunately catches Murph, and you can see him. My bad, man. We're good.
It's pretty obvious when his catcher mitt goes to the ground.
Yeah. So now they're loaded, and here's Justin Upton. And Upton right towards second. Noisy has it, and that'll do it. So it took 27 pitches for Tanner Roark to get out of it, but he does as the Angels leave him loaded. Here's our Indeed player resume. Noisy's season at AAA, and it was a big one. 27 homers, 102 RBIs, 31 doubles. He scored 99 runs, and that's why he's in the big leagues. He has the hit tool. Can play some different positions.
When he came in to the A's as a third baseman, but pretty good idea to make sure he could play other positions, because that was kind of taken up for a while.
Fair point.
Yeah, yeah. So he's playing second, and said he's played some short.
Fastball up and away from Patrick Sandoval.
See what he did show a couple of springs ago. It can hit, especially opposite field.
Well, there's no doubt about that hit tool. And we're talking a lot about adding length to lineups.
Hits that one hard right to Fletcher.
Well, this is what he did, and how about this ball that he hit to right field? So not a bad way to start, to get a ball down the right field line. One of the largest stadiums in the American League. Got the baseball. Not tonight, though. Did hit it hard. You know, if you've got the approach where you can hit the ball hard at the right side, that means you're staying on a baseball. The pull will come.
And as we continue to implement advanced metrics and analytics into the game. Exit velocities, a number that folks have become enamored with, and for good reason. How hard are guys hitting the ball? But that's a solid piece of information, especially, Foster, when you're talking about guys who can spray the entire field. Well, now it's not just sort of dinking and ducking the ball to the opposite field. You now have the ability to label and identify individuals who can pound the ball with authority all over the ballpark.
Right to Simmons on one hop, so a hard hit ball again, but Marcus Semien is 0 for 2. 2 outs here in the third.
Now batting, third baseman, number 26.
Well, the game in Cleveland just went final, guys, and the Indians hung on. They beat the White Sox 8-6. Wasn't easy, but they hung on. The White Sox had the bases loaded, and it ended 8-6. So with that Indians win, they jump into the second wild card spot, a half game ahead of the Athletics. The Rays are off today. They will host the Blue Jays starting tomorrow night, a 4-game series in St. Petersburg. The Indians still have 1 game left at home against the White Sox, and then the Indians will be at Minnesota this weekend.
A team that's hit more home runs than anybody.
Yeah, so the battle continues between the A's, the Rays, and the Indians. And I just don't feel comfortable leaving the Red Sox out. You just never know. You just never know.
That's right.
Red Sox are winning tonight. In fact, they're beating those Twins 6-2 at Fenway in the 9th inning.
Well, the Red Sox had their one bad month of September in 2011. I don't know if they can have another one like they had then. Because that was a bad month for them.
We need to order some chicken.
Chicken and beer.
Pitch, and that's a pretty good fastball by Patrick Sandoval, and he has a 3-up, 3-down inning, picking up his 3rd strikeout. 1-0 A's after 3. 1-0 A's leading. It's the top of the 4th inning. So Tanner Roark, he worked overtime in the 3rd inning. Angels ended up leaving the bases loaded. Angels have stranded 6 through the first 3 innings. Chapman. Chapman maybe wasn't quite sure he had it, and he did have it.
Well, the one thing about Matt Chapman, he does it here. Once he did figure out that he had it, had the backhand, got it, and there's the strong arm. That's what we were accustomed to seeing, not what he did with Fletcher leading off the game. Set himself, and you have that kind of an arm, you can take the extra time necessary to make a strong throw, and there are times you have to hurry, and he has a strong enough arm, but this time, catch it, stuck in the webbing, got it, throw it, perfect strike.
And that one is lined toward the right field corner, and it's fair. Thice hits the bag at first. He's digging for second, and he's going to have a double. So Matt Thice gets his 5th big league double.
Well, get it done early for the young lefty, huh? Why not? Saw the big bender kind of fool Ohtani. I think Roark probably realizing this might be a weapon here, maybe against a lefty. Ball just kind of checks up. Good job by Pinder to get it in quickly.
Well, that's why defense is so important. What Chapman did on the backhand with Simmons to keep him off the base, and now the double with 1 out.
And the first pitch to Bemboom is in for a strike.
You like that name, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
Anthony Bemboom.
I could just hear the late Bob Shepard making that call from New York. Anthony Bemboom.
He would say it much better than any of us.
Absolutely. I miss Bob Shepard. Roy Steele, some of the great PA announcers. Dick Callahan is wonderful himself. Good to see Roy at the '89 reunion.
It's always great to see Roy Steele.
Yeah.
And of course, Dick Callahan went over 1,000 games this year.
Right.
And that's quite a milestone. Yeah. 1-1 the count to Ben Boom. Ben Boom was robbed of a hit by Profar. A little pop up to shallow left. Profar made a nice play. Fletcher on deck. Good pitch right on the inside corner. Strike 3 called.
Well, let's play 1 1/4. This Friday, the A's and the Tigers will pick up a game 1 of their quarter header in the bottom of the 7th inning before playing their regularly scheduled game at 7:07 p.m. First pitch for the suspended game will be 5:15 p.m. Watch a quarter more of the fun for the price of 1. Only 1 ticket is necessary for entry to both games. Grab your tickets today by visiting athletics.com/tickets. Had to say that slowly because I don't think I've ever said a quarter header before.
Game and a quarter.
Quarter header. Should be fun. Should be fun to see who plays since they're not there anymore.
No, I know.
Going to fly Castellanos in from Chicago.
1-1 to Fletcher.
Fletcher got the 2-strike base hit to right field his last at bat, and I think you can look at, well, matter of fact, been told that Fletcher says, I love to hit with 2 strikes. We saw Alex Bregman hit a 3-run home run on an 0-2 curveball when the Astros were in town. A couple of guys that thrive on 0-2 pitches or 2-strike pitches regardless.
And that should have been called a strike, but it was not.
Nothing wrong with this pitch, and really the lower part of the strike zone, and you don't have to do anything except catch it and get it called.
Well, that's 2 pitches this AB would probably have gone the way of Tanner Roark that didn't.
A little flare left center. Profar hustling over there, and he makes the catch. So runner stranded at 7. Runner stranded by the Angels through the first 4 innings.
A's Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by Harley-Davidson. Experience more thrills at h-d.com.
So Profar's home run, the only run in the game so far, 1-0. And Matt Olson's going to lead things off here in the bottom of the 4th against Patrick Sandoval. Rookie left-hander who's walked 1 and struck out 3. Sandoval delivers and a slider for a strike. Very high left center. It'll be Mike Trout. Grabs it. Well, Matt Olson is retired. And we're going to have a pitching change.
Yeah, I thought he must have been on a pitch count because the right-hander's been up in the bullpen for 2 innings, and I think that's exactly what we're seeing, maybe 50-52, which is where he is right now.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog expert.
Pickles Catering, which is so your next lunch meeting can be great.
So it's the bottom of the 4th inning, and we got a pitching change with the A's leading 1-0. Jake Jewell is the new pitcher for the Angels. So Sandoval goes 3 1/3. I think he's got pretty decent stuff.
Yeah, he gives up 1 hit, it's a home run, and he's a pitcher of record as he heads to the dugout. Jake Jewell, who was up earlier in the season, did not pitch against the A's, but making his 9th appearance, or 10th appearance, that is.
Facing Mark Canha, who grounded out to short in his first at bat. Breaking ball that spins Canha out of the way. 2-0.
See a fastball, slider, changeup from the righty Jake Jewell. Get it up there around 96.
Comes back with the fastball.
Talking about the pitching of the Angels, is Sandoval, his line, 52 pitches for Patrick Sandoval. Good changeup tonight. 3 strikeouts, 3 1/3. But from the Angels standpoint, they probably are looking at all kinds of pitching.
Yep. And that hits Canha. So Canha hit by a pitch.
Well, and Canha not very happy about it. You can see he had a couple choice words for Mr. Jewell. May have invited him on a road trip somewhere. There you go. Let's go. Not sure where. Canha's going to go down to first base. No intent here, though. You can see tough trying to hone in that release point early on in the AB. It's just a matter of another one getting away from him. We got ice, Mark.
You know what? It's more of that hurt.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You know, I don't care whether it's intent or not. It hurts. That's why at the end of the season, you look at all the bruises. You get hit a lot. He's been hit a lot anyway.
Quick 0-2 to Chris Davis.
Well, I want to show you guys something. Foss, you talked about making adjustments here. Take a look at the hands here. We talked about the hand height, right? Being a little higher up, being slightly farther away from the body, but you can see those elbows a little closer and hands just slightly higher.
Just foul. Pujols grabs it.
And they don't have to be egregious adjustments. You got to remember, KD's a guy who does something very, very well, and he does it in a way that really nobody else can do it. So it's about being comfortable in your adjustments and really more so being confident that you're in a position to succeed. And a comfortable and confident KD means trouble for the rest of the league, folks.
0-2 pitch, 96 miles an hour, and Davis missed that one. It's the second out here in the 4th inning.
One of the hardest things to do, and it has to be done, is make adjustments mid-season. You like to feel comfortable, and of course for 3 years with the A's, he was comfortable hitting 40+. But that fastball, what he normally would hit that ball to right field, maybe just thinking a little bit about his new stance, just got out and make contact. Tell you what, that side shot we just had, talk about somebody close to a hitter. Bim Boom looks like he's on the plate. He's so close. And it was Murphy who had the catcher's interference, but he just seems like Bim Boom seems very close to the hitter. All it takes is reaching for the ball a little bit, and it's going to be catcher's interference.
What would make a catcher reach for a pitch?
Shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean,
let the ball come to you.
But
I mean,
sometimes it does happen.
Right. And I think from Murphy's standpoint tonight, it's the excitement of major league debut. Everything speeds up a little bit.
And the 0-2 pitch, fastball kind of exploded in on Pinder, and he swings and misses. So the A's leave a base runner. We're on to the 5th. Athletics leading 1-0. Kicks off an NBA storied rivalry, the Packers and the Bears in Chicago. Then the defending Super Bowl champion Patriots host the Pittsburgh Steelers on the premiere of Sunday Night Football, only on NBC. Kind of excited about that.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Packers.
Dallas, you'll be rooting for the Packers tomorrow night, right, buddy?
Not so much, Kite. Not so much. Yeah, I like to eat my cheese and watch it age on the sideline, if you know what I mean.
Dallas is a Dallas Cowboy fan, which is, he has very good reasons for that.
Yeah, his name is Dallas.
Yeah.
I mean,
But you have
It's
to,
been a while
have to
since they
change your
won a
name to
Super
Arlington,
Bowl.
though.
I'm not changing my name, and our day's coming.
You could be right. Trout is retired. He's 0 for 3.
You know, I heard something between innings never ever heard before, and that is on the A's Vision. They had this whatever thing and said "Go A's." The guy said "Go Yankees."
Yeah, it's change of takes.
You know, where's the 7-second delay when you need it? Leave it out. But I'd never heard that. So somebody said, "You give me a chance." And all the scouts are in the stands.
Well, speaking of Yankees, there could be some Yankee scouts here.
That's right.
Keeping an eye on the Athletics. Fairly decent chance the A's could see the Yankees in the postseason.
Well, I saw.
Got to get there first.
I saw our good friend Jim Scaling. Jim Scaling is a scout for the Toronto Blue Jays.
One of our favorites.
Yes.
Good guy. Very good pitching coach. Gets along with pretty much everybody.
Come to the ballpark this Sunday to celebrate Latin culture at the A's first Latinx Heritage Night. It's presented by Chevrolet. All early arriving fans for the 107 game against the Detroit Tigers receive a Bert Campy Campaneris bobblehead. It's purchase your tickets today by visiting athletics.com/Latinx.
First pitch to Pujols in the dirt. So 5 strikeouts for Tanner Roark. Walked a couple. The pitch count is very high, mostly because of the 3rd inning.
I think sometimes you can get your pitch count up. I think a little bit unnecessary tonight with the number of 3-2 counts he's had, but Tanner Roark is a veteran pitcher, and probably good pitchers will start a game by saying, this guy's not going to beat me. And I think the guy at the plate right now had a 10-pitch at bat in his last at bat. Caused the pitch count to get up at 90, but Tanner Roark, that number for him is inconsequential.
Good pitch there. Now it's 3-2. Payoff pitch is lined toward left. Profar's right there, and he's got it. So 5 in a row retired by Tanner Roark. Bottom of the 5th coming up.
Right center for Jerks, giving him 19 of the season. Opposite field fastball from Sandoval. The only hit the lefty would give up, it was to Jerkson Profar, who bats now left-handed against Jewell. So hit one from the left side, and he's something special. Hitting a home run from both sides of the plate in the same game.
Lines one foul. Heads up.
We'll see you at 2:30 tomorrow with Manny. Early work.
Jake Jewell back out there. He faced 3 hitters in the 4th inning. Couple of strikeouts. He hit Canna. Good pitch there.
Went over to ask Mark Gubicza because it was strange about Sandoval, and indeed the Angels are taking it easy with Sandoval, that they are limiting his innings pitch and pitches, and 52 pitches and 3 1/3. And there's spring training that in the bullpen of the Angels.
So Profar is called out on strikes. So that is 1 out here in the 5th, and that'll bring up Sean Murphy for his 2nd big league at bat. From Wright State in Ohio. Third-round pick in 2016. Sean Murphy. Mighty swing and hits it hard, but foul. Better form there.
Well, he did get a change. We got back-to-back change-ups from Sandoval.
Hits this one to right center, and it's hit well. Trout on the move, and that baby's gone.
Beautiful.
Tough not to smile when you watch that. Sean Murphy's first big league hit is a solo home run. Congratulations.
Pops, you're going to be seeing a lot of that from this young man. So 2 home runs tonight, 2 hits for the A's. Both have been opposite field home runs. And Sean Murphy, what a thrill. He's got 5 innings of shutout baseball catching Tanner Roark. And then in the second at bat goes opposite field with a home run. And happy folks on hand.
That is pretty cool. Well, he had a pretty big rip at the first pitch he saw. Hit it hard but foul and timed it a little bit better.
So much about platooning, huh? You get a left-handed pitcher, right-handed hitter. He gets him change-ups. You bring a right-hander in, throws fastballs, and takes him deep.
And take a look at the balance. Inside out's a pitch. Almost inner third in. And how nice is Sean Murphy feeding the fine people here in Oakland. Oppo tacos for everybody.
Well, nothing better than to have your family and wondering, what is my son? I'm going to get a first hit. Well, how about a home run on the first hit of his major league career? And oh man, that is great.
Noisy lines one to right, and that's a base hit. Noisy gets his second big league hit.
Well, Sean Murphy had 10 home runs, AAA, and you think, well, the ball carries well in Las Vegas. It doesn't carry as well here, but you hit a ball like that, it will carry anywhere. And there's a bunch of youngsters right on the front with the 2 Mats, Simeon. And the thing about the Coliseum, that baseball can be found.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it hits the State Farm sign, goes straight down, and somebody's out there retrieving it, probably Eric Farrell to authenticate it.
Be careful out there, Aaron. There's some 4-legged things going on out there.
It's great. Jed, I was thinking and watching the last inning with Roark pitching to Sean Murphy. Those guys are sitting next to each other. They're talking every inning. And, of course, they might be congratulating right now on a home run, but this is all about really how do you want to pitch these guys? And that conversation, Dallas, as you said, they're talking about maybe the situation, but there's a lot of conversation about what Tanner Roark wants to do to be successful. And he's going to go out for the 6th inning, and you think with the pitch count that would not be possible earlier in the game, but he's going to at least start the 6th.
Well, there's probably an air of familiarity between the man on the mound right now, Jake Jewell, and Sean Murphy.
Yeah.
Having seen each other between Salt Lake and Las Vegas.
Oh. And Simeon hits one deep. And that baby's gone.
Well, maybe Jake Jewell is familiar. The other hitters are familiar, but Marcus Simeon's familiar with a hanging curveball. What a great swing on a 2-strike pitch from Marcus Simeon. Gets a curveball, 26th home run of the season, number 75 in their RBI total, and that is just a great swing by the man who wants to play every day. He continues to play every day. And hitting like that as a leadoff hitter, it's got to be making Ricky Henderson very proud as a leadoff hitter with that number of home runs. Noisy with the base hit to right field. Marcus Semien, the veteran, hits a hanging breaking ball and hits it to left field.
So for Marcus Semien, now 26 home runs and 75 RBIs, so he is one away from his career high in home runs. He hit 27 in 2016. He has tied his career high in RBIs that same year of 2016. He also knocked in 75. So quite a season for Marcus Semien. And for the A's, they now have a 4-0 lead. And Chapman on a foul tip, and it's hung on by Bemboom, and it's a strikeout. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th.
Now batting, first baseman.
They talked about those scouts down in the stands, the Yankee scouts maybe watching the A's. I think there are a lot of scouts, a lot of people around baseball looking at the youthfulness of this ball club, the Oakland Athletics, and saying, uh-oh, they're pretty good, and they're going to be good for a while with some of these young players getting an opportunity to play at this level.
Olson smokes one into the right field corner. Matt Olson is going to ease into second with a double.
Well, it's officially become contagious. Matt Olson again just crippling a mistake up in the zone. Get the head out, big fella. That is shot down the line with some authority. What you're seeing right now is guys just continuing to take advantage of Jewell, who is up in the strike zone right now. Can't find his way to the bottom, and the Oakland A's are in no hurry to let him figure that out.
A's with a single, a double, and 2 home runs in this inning against Jake Jewell.
Now batting the center fielder, number 20.
So here's Canna. Canna has grounded out and been hit by a pitch. He was the first hitter that Jewell faced in the 4th inning.
Joe a little bit nervous as he drilled him. But the amazing thing, and I was thinking for a while before Murphy hit the home run, that Canna maybe had a reason to be upset because he got hit, and then Joe struck out Davis, Pinder, and Profar. 3 consecutive batters he struck out with pretty good control. But fastball got up and in and nailed it.
Trevor Cahill starting to get loose. Pitching out of the bullpen. He struggled as a starter this year. Right to Pujols. Pujols will hustle over, taking himself. So the A's, 2 home runs in the inning. The big one, Sean Murphy, his first big league hit, and it clears the wall. Semien followed with a 2-run shot. 6th inning coming up, 4-0 A's lead. Sean Murphy's first big league hit, a home run. 4-0 the A's lead, and it is the top of the 6th inning. So Tanner Roark back out there. His last inning. Marcus Semien added the 2-run shot. So 0-2 to Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, I think there are times that always felt that pitch counts, while it's an important part of the game, like shifts and different things, but I think some pitchers just get better as the game progresses, regardless of pitch count. And I just, maybe Tanner Roark is that type of a pitcher. I think he has done a very good job since the walk or the double to the last inning.
2 pitch right past him, strike 3. Hey, here's T-Mobile connection to the game. In an afternoon affair, Rookie of the Year candidate Pete Alonso hit his big league leading 45th home run. Mets won. Yankees expect to get Severino and Betances back for final weeks of the season, which would certainly help them. And George Springer carted off the field in Milwaukee last night, hit his head on the wall after making a great catch. He is listed as day-to-day. Pete Alonso, that's your guy, Dallas.
That is. Big polar bear. There's some conversations on whether or not he and a few other guys, Bellinger, Trout, whether these guys are going to hit that 50-homer plateau. And I just kind of haven't watched Pete Alonso throughout the season, a guy who, frankly, doesn't need to square up the baseball to hit it with authority or hit it out of the ballpark. On his way with still a lot of meat on that bone.
The amazing thing, you had Judge last year with the Yankees, what, 52 as a rookie?
Yep.
And now you got Alonso and the...
Chapman, what a play. Gets up, throws to first. Matt Chapman being Matt Chapman.
And we have seen that from Roark several times. Roark and Bailey, these guys show up and they say, how about this defense? Well, you get a standing ovation from the crowd and a big pat by your pitcher as Matt Chapman goes to his left, playing deep as he always does, comes up with it, sits down. At that point, it's a done deal. Good play by Matt Chapman. A pitcher's best friend, defense. But playing deep as he does, I talked to infield coaches and talked to other people, and they said I've never seen anybody play third base as deep as Matt Chapman does. He can charge the ball, take away the bunt, but playing deep takes away a lot of hits in the hole.
Well, and you watch his left foot here, he's going to take that drop step, and at no point in time does he think about trying to square up. He knows what's coming, slap the leather, quick transfer. It's just old hat for Matt Chapman, folks. And you can see Tanner very appreciative here. But again, if you have the opportunity to get out to the ballpark and get out early, you watch guys like Matt Chapman, they practice greatness. That's why it does not come as a surprise to the folks who see this every day.
This one popped up just below us.
You think about good musicians just kind of getting lost in their own mindset, riffing, and before you know it, they've got everybody in the crowd hanging on every note. Matt Chapman, very similar, just the way he moves.
Scooped up by Marcus Semien with a short hop, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning. 8 in a row retired by Tanner Roark. Bottom of the 6th coming up. 4-0 A's lead. Finish July 12th back in Anaheim since the death of starting pitcher Tyler Skaggs. The Angels pitch a combined no-hitter against the Mariners on the day they honored Skaggs. It was the 13th combined no-hitter in Major League history and the 11th no-hitter in Angels history. So that was quite a night.
That's quite a thing right there. They took their jerseys and placed them on the mound, all wearing the number 45.
So Trevor Cahill takes over, third pitcher of the night. Those are the Angels no hitters. Some names on there. Ray, you faced a lot of those guys.
Nolan.
Clyde
Wright. We see him every time we go to Bo Polinsky. Langston, who's in the booth next to us, along with Mike Witt. That was the final day. Ervin Santana, Jared Weaver. Yeah, that was quite a list. Well, Nolan Ryan would always start those games at 5:05. So first 6 innings, you couldn't see anything, and of course he had to have a no-hitter. You're always afraid to face the Express.
Well, when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Trevor Cahill. Right to third. Thice, long throw across. Davis is out. Well, have you ever told Clyde Wright that he could have made a little better pitch in the 1970 All-Star game?
Yeah, I've told him that a few times, and he just laughs.
Thanks a lot, Clyde. Not that funny, really.
I know. You know, maybe it's something a little bit different to Jim Hickman instead of a pitch that he could line to center field. But you saw the numbers for Trevor Cahill, 91+ innings. He probably will be the only Angels pitcher this year to reach 100 innings.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. They will not have a starting pitcher to have 20 starts. Andrew Heaney is the closest at 14, so the numbers just don't pan out for him in the month of September to equal 20. And so that's what has happened to the pitching of the Angels. And
this is Grossman, excuse me.
we talked about as far as the pitchers and some of the guys like Matt Harvey and Cody Allen let go. If you know, Trevor Cahill proved that he could pitch out of the bullpen, which he did for the Cubs in their World Championship. So as a starter, maybe not successful. As a reliever, maybe better success, or at least to give some length. He had a couple of starts against the Athletics. He gave up a total of 4 home runs. Last year, he did not have a game in which he had more than 1 home run given up. So this year with the Angels, totally different.
Angels, 29 different pitchers used this year. Sounds like a lot.
I think, as you said earlier, what the A's now have 5, maybe 6 in rotation that they can rely on consistently.
Heaney on the right, he has had trouble staying healthy. Is back on the active list now. Grossman bounces it right side. That's Fletcher who throws out the speedy Grossman. So 2 outs. Time now for a quick look at the upcoming calendar presented by Wendy's. So a day game tomorrow. We'll have it for you right here on Comcast Sportsnet California. And then the Tigers come in. Remember, you can see a game and a quarter if you come out Friday, but you got to be here at 5:15. That's when the suspended game will start. And then the big road trip coming up to the Lone Star State. 4 in Houston and 3 in Arlington. Looking forward to that.
Last trip to the park in Arlington, Texas.
That's right. That's
Count
good.
down.
You know what? It's a nice park. I don't like the booth there. It's not a good booth. It's hot. It's windy. There's not enough room. There's no light, right, Ray? We're the only booth in the whole press box that doesn't have light.
That's right. And
might as well do the game in a closet.
Yeah. Have to get one of those table lamps to put next
Thank you. We have to have a table lamp. I have to use the flashlight on my phone to see my scorecard. So for that reason alone,
yeah, get a new stadium.
They need a new stadium.
Need a new stadium.
Because it's all about the visiting broadcast
Yeah,
booth.
it's all about the owner saying it was too hot in the stadium they're in that could be transported to a lot of places and be happy to have.
Well, you know, one good thing that did happen before they finally closed the doors on that ballpark is on Saturday last weekend, they had the opportunity to send number 10, Michael Young, into the rafters, joining the Hall of Fame for the Texas Rangers.
Yep.
Yeah, that was cool.
A great show of respect, very deserved.
Profar's going to try to walk this one off. Let's see where it got him.
Well, fortunately, it got him. There's your toe. Mr. Upton probably acknowledging that. But this ball stayed fair, unbelievably. It went down the line. But I thought in that presentation, very deserving for Michael Young to have the number retired, but also for Ron Washington to come in from Atlanta. And as Michael Young said, Wash, you're missing a game. That's very special for you to be here. But I remember when Wash went to Texas as the manager, I think it was Michael Young and a few of the veterans said, yeah, all you want to do is bring what the Oakland A's did. He said, that's called winning. That's what I'm bringing here. If you don't like it, then we'll get somebody else. But he got the respect of all those guys, including Michael Young. And I think that's what set Wash apart, and that's why he made the trip to Arlington to be there for that presentation.
Trout hustling in, still coming in, and he dives, and Trout caught it. Great play by the center fielder, Mike Trout. He plays deep, and he had to come in a long ways, but he got to it using that terrific speed. 4-0, the A's lead. It's the top of the 7th inning, and Tanner Roark is back out there.
Is that a thing of beauty or what?
I love it.
I do too.
He's retired 8 in a row.
105th pitch thrown, and I don't even know if Bob Melvin or Scott Emerson said anything to him, or he just said, hey, you're going to go back out. I mean, the Hall of Famer Nolan Ryan, who had 4 no-hitters pitching for the Angels when he was president of the Rangers, and never forget telling Mike Maddox, take the pitch counter and don't use it. Said it in other words, but bottom line, pitcher will tell you when he's ready to come out. Roark is not ready to come out.
Chapman may have a play. He's over there, and he does.
How about that?
So Matt Chapman had a run, 50 yards.
Yeah, and he's playing shortstop, and here's the pop-up. It's a high pop-up, and that all of that, what just stops, gets his feet under him, makes the play. Plenty of room. And this young man is saying, wait a minute, you got to be kidding me. They're shifting me, and the guy is catching it near the A's dugout. That is the instincts, the great instincts of Matt Chapman. And he's able to make a play like that. And Tanner Roark, very appreciative again of the great defense.
Here's Ben Boom.
So you have Boom Boom Bailey in the bullpen, and Bim Boom is the catcher. So we got Boom Boom and Bim Boom.
In the air toward Profar. Profar's under it, and he's got it. So 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. This Friday versus the Tigers, it's an A's Authentic Fan Friday. Giving away collector's edition Marcus Semien cheer cards to the first 10,000 fans at the gate. And don't forget to swing by our Authentic Fan section by the treehouse for an Authentic Fan picnic blanket and to hang out at our pre and post game set. So here's the top of the order, David Fletcher.
Thinking of Tanner Roark as Bobby Grossman stays in the game, right field. And what CC Sabathia did with the Brewers, we talked about that before. When you get a late acquisition, someone that's willing to take the ball and pitch a lot of innings, throw a lot of pitches, Tanner Roark come to the Athletics and doing exactly that for his club.
This one is flipped into right field for a base hit. So Fletcher is 2 for 4. Bob Melvin is coming out. So 113 pitches for Roark. And he has pitched extremely well. 6 2/3 innings. 5 hits and no runs for Tanner Roark. Petit coming in. Nice ovation for Roark. And 113 pitches. Is the second most he has thrown in a game this year. And Yusmeiro Petit comes in. It's not an A's game without Petit pitching.
First pitch changeup, 71st game, of course, leads the world in appearances. And 73 innings pitched. 7 walks, 58 strikeouts. That's what you want out of a reliever.
Mike Trout in the air. Grossman's there. And he's got it. So it's always good when Mike Trout has a quiet night. He is 0 for 4. 7th inning stretch coming up. 4-0 A's lead.
Star Wars themed fireworks show will light up the sky, presented by Chevron. May the force be with you, as you won't want to miss this fireworks show. Purchase your tickets today by visiting athletics.com/tickets. Should be a good one.
Trevor Cahill back out there. He had a 3-up, 3-down 6th inning. And the first pitch is a strike to Sean Murphy. First career hit in his big league debut. Last A's player to homer in their major league debut, Franklin Barreto. Remember that? He had a couple that day, didn't he? Or no, a bunch of rookies hit home runs that day.
Olsen hit, Olsen, yeah. Rugman?
Jacob Bruckman.
You know, if Barreto could play against the White Sox every game, he'd hit about 100 home runs. And all of them be 3-run home runs.
Off the plate. Throw to first, and a nice play by Matt Theis. So Murphy is retired. This is what Murphy did in the 5th inning for his first big league hit. Pretty impressive going the other way.
Well, and you could just see the fastball, which was a center cut fastball. And Mom happy, and Dad probably still crying, but why not? It's pretty special to watch your son and the youngster, Matt Chapman, who was the #1 draft choice in 14, Murphy in 16.
Well, the anatomy of the long ball. Brought to you by StatCast. 106 miles an hour off the bat out to right field off the State Farm sign. 410 feet away. Lean on it, Murph.
StatCast AI powered by AWS. Noisy had a base hit right after the Murphy home run, and then he scored on Simeon's home run. A's have hit 3 home runs tonight. They now have 219 on the year. We're going to start keeping a close eye on that, Ray, because the A's record for home runs in a season is 243, set in 1996. And they are on pace to break it.
I read something the other day that they say maybe every club will break their own record. There's so many home runs are being hit. It's unbelievable. Twins have already, Twins are talking about 300 home runs.
Yep, Twins are in.
Wow. But it is amazing.
Well, it's just a hats off to every single player development group across baseball, right?
Yeah. And hard baseballs.
Cahill with a 3-up, 3-down inning. So we are through 7 here at the Coliseum with the A's leading 4-0 over the Angels. Well, folks, earlier this evening, the Oakland A's Prize Patrol surprised a lucky fan with $5,000. Take a look.
Excuse me, are you Rich?
I am.
Stand up, stand up. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Guess what, Rich? You've just won yourself $5,000 from NBC Sports and the A's. How cool is that?
Very cool.
Who are you here with tonight?
This is Taylor, my granddaughter, my son Phil, Amy, my wife Sue, my friend George.
Oh, awesome. You've got the whole family to celebrate.
Taylor, we're going to spring training.
I know you've been a long time A's fan. Been here for all the World Series. What does it mean to be winning this kind of money at this beloved stadium with all of your friends and family?
Awesome. This is great. Can't beat it. Oh, there's the camera.
Did you ever think it was going to happen to you?
No, absolutely not.
And 3 generations of A's fans to celebrate.
Generations right here.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, Rich. Very cool. We'll see you in Arizona for spring training. Guys, back to you.
Well, congratulations to Prize Patrol winner Rich. And the A's would be matching the $5,000 and donating to the A's Community Fund. Watch the A's win and support your community. Look for the next Prize Patrol code this Friday versus the Tigers. Don't want to miss that.
Hey, Rich comes to a ball game and he gets to get $5 grand. I mean, God didn't even have to go to his house.
I like the fact that he said he's going to spring training.
That's right. That's great.
He'll have a ball if he does.
Yes, he does. Yeah, for sure.
We say it every year. If you've never been to spring training, you are missing out. It is awesome, and you will. If you go once, you're going to go every year.
That's right.
And that's why spring training has become such a big deal, because fans go, they have so much fun, and then it just becomes part of their yearly planner. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Joaquin Soria comes in. It is the top of the 8th inning. Yusmeiro Petit got just the 1 out, but it was a big out because it was Trout. So it's Goodwin, Pujols, and Ohtani. Soria pitched last night. He pitched the 8th inning last night as well. He walked a batter, but then got a 6-4-3 double play. We told you earlier the Indians won tonight. The Rays have it off.
Well, we wish the Rays and everybody in Florida and up the East Coast, man, hope for the best, because that hurricane is devastating.
See the wild card standings. Profar, another diving play by Jurickson Profar. His 2nd of the night.
There's no doubt that Jurickson Profar is an athlete. It's just a matter of him kind of settling in and really trusting the athleticism. Stick him out there in left field, no big deal. Ho-hum, track a fly ball, lay out. Just an easy day's work out in left for pro. Super pro.
Nice little smile, the clap. We've seen that pretty consistently tonight with the pitchers, Tanner Roark. But you know, I think the one thing that he's doing, and maybe coming from the bench and how to position, but in case of a left-handed hitter and a left fielder, you play shallow. You're able to get a good jump on a ball, which he did twice tonight to make good plays.
Oh, 0-1 to Albert Pujols, a double, a walk, and a line out to left.
I think there might be some familiarity for Sean Murphy with Petit and Soria, a couple of guys in spring training. It's only Tanner Roark, who was acquired by the Athletics late in the season, that Sean Murphy did not have a chance to catch it. I don't know, can't remember if he even caught these guys, but probably had some bullpen sessions and warmed them up and a little bit familiar with them.
More action for Profar, and he grabs that one. So 2 away for Ohtani.
Now batting, 17, Shohei Ohtani.
Just before we run out of time to put this in perspective, with the reemergence of Sean Manaea off the injured list and the performance you get out of that lefty as he arrives back, could you imagine being able to plug Sean Manaea into the 3-hole in your lineup, maybe 4 or 5 in your lineup, while he's making that rebound on the mound? That's what the Angels have. That's what Major League Baseball has here in Shohei Ohtani. So as you look around the league and you can appreciate some of the young athletes, and as this organization, the Oakland A's, has a list of their own young studs, Major League Baseball and the Angels have their own here in Shohei Ohtani. It's just incredible for me to think about.
Yeah, as fun as it is to watch Mike Trout, think about this guy. Alice is right. Not this time, though, as he strikes out for the 3rd time, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Joakim Soria. Bottom of the 8th coming up. For Sean Murphy is a home run. He did that in the 5th inning. Simeon and Profar have also homered. So it's the bottom of the 8th inning. He's trying to make it 2 in a row over a struggling Angels team. Chapman, Olsen, and Canna. That curveball bends in there for a strike. Chapman a walk and a couple of strikeouts. You know, I was looking up with all this talk about the A's and the Rays and the Indians and what could happen down at the end. To see the A's season series records against those teams, and they won the season series against the Rays 4-3, and they won the season series against the Indians 5-1. That's good news.
Yes, it is.
If they are, there's a play-in game, not the wild card game, but a play-in game. The A's would host it.
Exactly.
So that's a good thing. And I say play-in game, let's just say for sake of the conversation, let's say the Indians are the #1 wild card team and the A's and the Rays were tied for the 2nd wild card team. Well, they would have to play a play-in game to get to the wild card, and the A's would host that. Of course, if you're the 1st wild card, you don't have to worry about that.
Play of the day brought to you by your California Ford dealers. How about Tanner Roark coming to the Athletics and coming off a start that he was not that pleased with, but tonight he was outstanding and he did a great job. And to be able to pitch as well as he did and to pitch as deep as he did in the game, that's pretty special. To be able to go 6 2/3 with 113 pitches, striking out Ohtani and Sean Murphy, his first Major League home run on the night that he caught and has caught shutout innings. And one more, and that would be just as special as hitting a home run. It's a nice combination to have. Home run, first Major League hit, catch a shutout.
The shift for Matt Olson. Low strike called, 1-1. Olson doubled in the fifth. He's 1 for 3. Two for 7 in the series. Both his hits are doubles. Yankees won tonight. They beat the Rangers 4-1. They have the best record in the American League at the moment. The Astros did not play today. And that's a strike on the inside corner. So Olson strikes out.
Well, we talked about the hitting of Sean Murphy. How about his defense and catching Tanner Roark? Doing a very good job behind the plate. Of course, working down on the bullpen with Marcus Jensen getting ready, and takes that cross up and takes it off the chest and throws out Ohtani for the final out. Nice block with the ball moving to his right. Another good block there. So good job, and that's his main forte. I mean, he's going to do great as a hitter, but first of all, if he can start spring training or just getting this opportunity to get his feet wet in September at a very important time, and you'd have to wonder if the A's do continue to play well in this September, he could be starting catcher if they make it postseason. I mean, it's very possible. Who knows what could happen, but he's a talent, and he's put it on display tonight.
1-0 to Canna. Canna is 0 for 2. Hit by a pitch in the 4th inning. Was not happy about it.
A.J. Puck and Liam Hendricks both throwing in the A's bullpen, and I would say if it's a 4-0 lead, I might see Liam Hendricks, and it's not a safe situation, but it's a game on the line. To go beyond that, maybe A.J. Puck.
Well, 3-0 the count. Day game tomorrow. Pitching matchup will be Brett Anderson and Jose Suarez, a couple of lefties. And the Tigers come to town for the weekend. A's with a chance to get 4 wins. That's right. In a 3-game series. Finish the suspended game. And another walk.
Well, we are in the second to last homestand of the 2019 regular season, and the A's are in the mix for a playoff spot. Experience the magic of a playoff push for free. That's right, for free when you purchase your 2020 A's Access membership plan. With A's Access, you get 50% off concessions, 25% off merchandise, $10 prepaid parking, and access to every single regular season home game for the remainder of 2019 and all of 2020. Get started at athletics.com/access.
Probably a few Access members in there, and that gentleman is.
Well, and you're thinking also about postseason, and I mean this is just a special time. I always think that if you're a fan of baseball and your team, and you can go into baseball games in September knowing that playoff potential, that makes it a very nice time to go to the park.
Chris Davis slaps the first one foul, right side. Good looking jersey.
Yeah, with an Angels cap. An Angels cap?
Yes, it is.
Really? Yeah, it is the California Angels. I was going to say it's one of the many names of the Angels.
Chris Davis drives one to right. Goodwin circles underneath. He's got it. Chapman's going to hustle to third, and he'll make it with a slide. So 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Attendance tonight here at the Coliseum, 12,597. A's looking for their 80th win. After tonight, the A's have 24 games left. And that includes finishing the suspended game. 24 left.
I know our great crew is going to probably go back in the first 6.5 innings of that game and just bring ball the highlights. And Stephen Piscotty, is he even here? I'm going to show him getting a 2-run hit, driving in 2 runs, and he's recovering and wishing him well also.
I remember one thing about that game.
What's that?
The umpire calling it.
When it started to sprinkle?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I remember about that game.
That unnecessary, put the tarp on when it was sprinkling and everybody's standing around saying, where's the rain? Yeah, Mike Fiers, pitcher of record. He will not pitch the nightcap.
Liam was on the mound when it started a monsoon. It was in Detroit. That's where Dallas Braden made the famous dash onto the field with the tarp. Got in trouble with a couple people.
I may have ended up scorpioning myself trying to slide on that tarp, sliding on 60 grit sandpaper.
Who was the manager when you did that?
It was not Bob Melvin.
No, it was not.
First name was Bob, though, right?
That's it. Getting warmer.
Couple weird things happened in Detroit.
I remember Houston Street coming off the mound into the dugout.
Yeah, the good old days.
Yeah. Houston Street just had a birthday the other day.
We were a fiery bunch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Smooth sailing it was not.
Well,
awesome.
That's good. Great jersey, Dad. That's good. Smart man.
So count remains 2-2 with 2 outs.
Monsoon. That's a good one.
Second at bat for Grossman. And missed outside. Full count. Remember, Cahill had 47 pitches. And it is his 3rd inning of work. McKenna runs and the ball's hit in the air to center. Trout backs up, waits, and he grabs it. So the A's strand a pair. 9th inning coming up. A's 3 outs away from their 80th win. 4-0 lead. Not a save situation, but when you got a win staring you in the face, you got to grab it.
Absolutely.
So Hendricks making his 64th appearance. So he has been busy this year. 1.74 ERA, 72 innings pitched. Upton, Simmons, and Theis.
Talk about getting better with more work. I think we're seeing it with Liam Hendricks. I think he's upset at what happened Sunday in New York. If that's the case, they continue to pitch well the month of September with that little fire. One thing for sure, Sean Murphy can get his catcher's mitt broken in.
That's true.
Yeah, that's always good to have a pitcher can throw hard. Just take a new putt out there and get it broken in.
1-2 pitch, 98 miles an hour, a swing and a miss by Upton.
Hey ho, strikeout bowling, folks. Athleticsbrand.com. You can support Liam in his effort to punch out bullying, just like he did in his effort to punch out Jay Upton right there. Straight fuzz coming from the Aussie.
Hey, you had Michael Zagaris behind you. Now you have Elijah back there. You got all kinds of people photobombing everything you're doing down there, Dallas. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Noisy backhand, nice strong throw, and they get Simmons for the second out. So 2 away.
Well, and very cool, calm, collected, and under control for Sheldon Noisy. Moving to his right, and again, under control with the backhand. Comes up, knows he's got plenty of arm to get it over in plenty of time. You can't be safe unless you touch first base, Sheldon says.
Well,
I got you.
Third baseman's arm playing second, that's always going to be impressive.
Correction, batting, number 25, Jared Walsh.
Jared Walsh is going to hit. He's going to be the pinch hitter for Theis.
I want to see him pitch it and then pitch.
He can do both. Yeah. Dual threat.
How about having 2 guys on the same team who could pitch and hit?
May see more of it as the years go on. Hakeem Soria with a 3-up, 3-down 8th inning. And Hendricks trying to do the same here in the 9th for the shutout. Strike on the outside corner.
Well, Petit came in the game, as you mentioned, with Mike Trout up, and Petit got Trout, threw him a changeup, then a fastball. 4 miles difference between the two, basically, just a BP fastball. But Petit has been used in a lot of those situations to get out of tough jams, and tough possible jams anyway. And then Soria for the 8th, Liam Hendricks for the 9th. Pretty good combination.
So 1-2. Sean Murphy, a chance to catch a shutout and hit a home run in his major league debut.
Yeah. That is a nice debut. Well, Liam has 3 pitches. He has 2 different sliders and a fastball.
1-2 pitch, straight heater at 98. There's the Sean Murphy family. It's been a good night for that group.
I went to the A's store, all that A's merchandise on.
Another 1-2 coming up to Walsh. There's that good slider by Hendricks. Buried it down and in. Just 5 hits for the Angels. They've had just 1 hit since the 5th inning. Pitch, slider struck him out, and that's the ball game. So Liam Hendricks has a 3-up, 3-down 9th inning, and the bullpen strong again tonight. And it leads to the Athletics getting their 9th shutout of the year, and a big night for Sean Murphy and the Athletics. So the A's have won the first 2 games of this series over the Angels. Time of game was 2 hours and 31 minutes. The attendance was 12,597. The A's just keep on winning. They defeat the Angels tonight by a final score of 4-0. Time now for A's Postgame Live. It's brought to you by Toyota. Let's head back to the studio. Brody is standing by.